What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's kind of weird to say that it's June 3rd because I feel like it was January yesterday, but the last 6 months have just blown by for us. And I think that's because, this year brought a lot of change to our family. We moved, we had our second child welcomed into this world about 2 weeks ago. So my wife, Megan, and I have been really busy with household projects and then the birth of our second child, Nora. But everything is good. We're blessed. So today, like I said, is the 3rd of June, and that means that summer officially kicks off in 17 days. For my family, that means hopefully less time at work, more time outside, taking our little ones to our parents' pool, just doing outdoor activities in the sun, since we live in Michigan and the winters are kind of harsh here. We maximize our time outside to the max extent possible in the summer. For a lot of my viewers that have Forerunners and other off-roading rigs, for them that means more time on the trails, more times overlanding, more time going off-roading, camping, you name it. And those activities bring challenges in themselves. Keeping your vehicle clean is one of them. 2 years ago, I purchased not one, but two Giraffe Tools retractable hoses. These are the 130-foot variants, and been really happy with them. So the reason why these hose reels have not been mounted is because on my big honey-do list, these kind of took a back seat at the bottom of the list because it was winter time and it really wasn't the appropriate time to get them outside and mounted. So now that it is June and it is 82 degrees today, maybe I'll dig a hole, drop some concrete in, and put the posts up. That way we can start using these again. Now, why are we here? Well, first off, I want to apologize to Kayla over at Giraffe Tools because what I'm about to show you, she sent me like 2.5 months ago. And with everything going on in our hectic household, I have not had a chance to even open this box. So sorry it's taken so long, but thank you so much for sending me this and allowing me to make this video for my viewers. So these hose reels cover the outside of your vehicle as far as cleaning them goes. Today we're going to cover the wall-mounted vacuum by Giraffe Tools. This is a wall-mounted vacuum that I'm going to keep in my garage between my two doors because I have a 3-car garage. And this gives you 30 feet of retractable hose that will allow you to clean both your garage space, if you have a workshop, your vehicles, you name it. I've done a lot of reading about this, and it's supposed to have great suction, great distance as far as the hose goes. And then one cool thing that separates this from other vacuums is on the actual hose itself. For those of you that buy the one with the remote control on the hose, you're able to control it, turn it on and off from that handle, which I don't know if any other vacuums on the market that are wall mounted like this have the capability for. One thing I'm going to talk about before we get into the unboxing is right now this is on sale because of Father's Day coming up. So you can snag this for, I want to say $315 from Giraffe Tools. So you're literally saving 10% because Father's Day is on the horizon. So if you are thinking of getting one of these, especially after watching this video, get one before Father's Day, save some money. All right, so what I did was I took the vacuum out and I set it on another box. That way I can show you exactly what I'm looking at, and then I don't have to cut the video to show you the vacuum itself. So when you open the box, this will obviously be a little higher because the vacuum will be filling this box. But if you look down here, we have some, I'm guessing, are attachment pieces for accessories. We have what appears to be brackets in both the first and second area here. And then this right here is a filter, it looks like. Just from quickly looking at it, looks like one of those filters. Mounting hardware, I'm guessing for the unit itself. And then we have some poles, I'm guessing for the 30-foot wand, and then a little brush. All right, so this is the vacuum itself, and I've already loosened the latches, but there's this latch mechanism on both sides, and that's what keeps the waste bin closed and attached to the vacuum. Now, this was pretty heavy taking it out of the box, and after looking in the box and seeing that those are the only tools that were in the styrofoam, I was like, okay, this ain't adding up. Where's the rest? It's in the collection bin at the bottom. Again, it's a 4.5 gallon collection bin. It is large enough for all the other accessories and tools that they send you. So the way that you open the accessory bin or the trash bin is take those two latches off. This then slides. I believe it goes back. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but it'll slide off the bottom bin, and then you can lift this. Obviously, once this is mounted, you're just gonna pull the bin out. But for now, I'm gonna cut the video and I'm gonna take the top portion of the vacuum off to show you what's in the bin itself. All right, folks, so I did a few things. One, I took the vacuum off of the collection bin, and then I went through everything in the collection bin as far as accessories goes and just took the plastic off. That way you're not watching me take everything out of plastic and just waste time. So with this to the side, let's direct our attention to the bin and see what accessories and stuff comes in here. So this, to me, looks like the accessories mount. So all the parts that you see here are going to attach to this. So I'm gonna put this to the side. These right here, I believe, are the mounts to hold the vacuum in place. So I'm gonna put those to the side. And then we're just gonna quickly look at what they sent. So you got a nice little wet vac like brush. This is made of rubber. This is a mounting piece for like hose, probably those two poles that were in the box itself. This is the wand with the buttons on it. So this costs a little more, but you get the on-off capabilities, which pretty sweet. And then just some other accessories, nice little thick brushed little vacuum piece down here. And then a couple more attachments that come in the box. And then this looks like another mount. So we're gonna put this to the side. What I'm going to do now is get the template taped up here and read the instructions, see what kind of holes I need to drill, and see if we can get this thing mounted. All right, guys, so what I've done is I took the template, I kind of folded the top portion of it down, that way I can make sure it's all lined up nice and neat. And then I spaced it how I wanted on the wood that I put up here a couple days ago. So this whole section, if I run my hands across it, has a piece of wood where I can drill into. Now, if you take the instructions out of the box that look like this and flip to page 9, it talks about installing the vacuum. Now, they have you doing the accessory bracket first. I'm not doing that first because I'm not sure if I'm gonna even have the accessory bracket up. And if I do, I'm probably gonna have it mounted to the side, which I don't have wood in place for right now. So I will maybe do that at a later point in time. What I'm gonna show you guys is how to put the actual vacuum brackets, which are these two right here, on the wall. So it says here, use a 12 millimeter drill to drill 3 1/8 inch or 80 millimeter deep 4 holes. So what I did was I went to my toolbox, I got my Milwaukee Cobalt drill bits, I grabbed the 3/8 inch drill bit, and just to confirm, I put it up to the anchor that they provided, and it is damn near exact. I know I don't need to put anchors in this because I have wood, but to not change it up and make it weird or different, I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna drill 4 holes here, and then 4 holes here, and then I will take this off of the wall. That way I don't mount the mounts on top of this paper, and then we'll get it secured. So I'm gonna drill those. I'm gonna speed up the video. That way you don't have to watch me drill 8 holes, and then we'll get to the next step. with those four holes for each bracket drilled, I'm now going to take my mini sledgehammer because I don't know where my mallet is, and I'm just going to put these in place. So far I've put in 3 of them. I have another 5 left. This one was kind of a pain in the ass. I've tried putting one in already, but I've had to be careful because there's a wire back here and I don't want my drill bit to grab the wire and destroy it because that wire was just run. So I took a little bit extra time, but I think I've widened it enough where I can just now tap this into place. So make sure when you drill your holes, you don't just go straight in and then out. Go in and then move it just a little bit, create a little bit of a gap. You saw that I still had to hammer it in, but if you just go straight in, it's gonna be too tight of a hole. So just widen it ever so slightly. Like that one needs a little bit of widening. Okay. All right, so we have the anchors in place, all 8 of them for the 2 brackets. Now, if you look at this picture, it's kind of hard to tell what orientation this bracket goes. Does it go this way or does it go that way? Well, if you look down here, there's 2 little holes, which to me is indicative of these little screws that are in this bracket. So the way I look at this diagram, this is the top and the screw holes are at the bottom. And if you look at it from a side angle, it makes sense because the vacuum will drop into here and grab right here. So the next step is to screw this in place with the screws and the washers that came in the bag. Now what I did was I went and grabbed my ratchet and I put a 13 millimeter socket on here. That way I'm not spending all day putting these 8 bolts in this wood. So I am going to speed up this video and then get this mounted, and then we'll move to the next step. And I'm not going to tighten any of them until all the screws for the individual brackets are tightened or at least started in place. All right, so that's one bracket down. Now we're gonna do the other side. And then once I make sure that it is exactly how the instructions call for, I will tighten these bolts down. All right, so same with the other bracket, make sure the orientation is correct and then get to drilling or hand ratcheting it. I hope you guys have one of these because it saves a lot of time. And if you're wondering why I mounted mine so high, I parked my 0 turn right here. So I don't want the 0 turn to be in the way of the vacuum and vice versa. I don't want the vacuum to be in the way of the 0 turn. At this height, I can grab it. The hose will not hit the ground unless a lot of it is pulled out and they don't interfere with each other. I just checked with my level. It is dead on. So now the way that you hang this is you're gonna grab the sides of it. In my case, I'm gonna hold it sideways because I don't have somebody to help me guide it in place and it is kind of higher. So I'm gonna hold it like so. And then we're going to line up the brackets on the back of the vacuum with the ones on the wall. And this is important. You want the cord out of the way, and then in order to drop it in place, you want to put some pressure on the back because that allows it to slide into place. So you're going to tilt it back, make sure it's seated all the way down. This side is, and then just going to check this side. This side is as well. See if we can put a level on it and see if it is truly level. I don't know if you can see that, but it's dead on. So now this is in place. I did not unravel the cord for this specific reason. This is going to stay tucked back here. And actually, what I think I'm going to do is unravel it, route it back up and then down. That way it comes out here and doesn't get in the way of the bin itself. So let me do that really quick. All right, so the bottom portion has been installed really quickly. To install it, there's brackets. So you're going to approach it, lift it, and then slide it over, and it will drop into place. There's two sections that it catches on. Once it is in place, you're then going to take these orange clips and you're going to tighten it down. So this is kind of a two-handed operation. But yeah, this is essentially how you do it. You're going to push up and then clip it in place. And then same on the other side, push up, clip it in place. And now the bottom portion of the vacuum is in place. And now what I'm going to do, you can see that the tank does not interfere with the outlet. There is enough clearance. It's nice and level and looks really good. So now what I'm gonna do is take the wand, I'm going to install batteries and then get it hooked up to the vacuum itself. Okay, so pretty cool actually. This says remove and discard before use. So I'm gonna throw that in the box. Once I did that, the light turned on, which means there are batteries in here. So now let's give it a whirl and see if it works. So it is really cordless. And then obviously once you attach this to the hose itself, that's how you turn it on and off, but you can control it from right here, which is pretty sweet. Now I said earlier that I wasn't going to mount the holder for all the attachments. I guess I lied. I ended up wanting to do that. So I put two pieces of wood there, doubled them up so that there's wood behind it, and then the 4 anchors there, and there. So the bracket can now get affixed to the wall. But what I'm gonna do before I affix the bracket, if you look over here, so this is the bracket, it's got these little holes. Those are for the hooks themselves. And then you can see the back, there's a little hole as well. And then same with these top pieces that sit up top like this one. But case in point, if you mount this right now, you're not gonna be able to put the screws in and these will fall off. So what I'm going to do is mount the screws to those hardware pieces and then I will get it up on the wall. So let me do that real quick and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. I had to bring my zero turn and my car in because the weather has taken a turn. It looks like it's gonna rain now. But you're gonna take these little screws, the silver ones, you'll leave the black ones. There's only 2 black ones and I'll show you why in a little bit. But you're gonna take these little silver screws, you're going to essentially take these pieces, they're just gonna pop into place, very easy. And then let me just get these other 2 installed real fast. All right, so now that these 4 pieces are installed, you're just gonna take your little silver screws, drop them in the holes, and then with a Phillips head, you're going to screw it in place. So something like this. And that will just prevent this from coming off when you're taking your other pieces off of the vacuum and either attaching them or removing them. This just keeps it nice and snug. You don't need to go crazy tightening them because you will strip out the plastic if you go too tight. Sometimes less is better. You're just trying to prevent this from snapping out of place, so keep that in mind. So I've got 2 of the 4 done. You might need to push the screwdriver into the screw when you're tightening it to kind of let the screw bite into the plastic material right here. But once it bites, it's pretty easy. These 4 pieces have been installed. Now we're gonna take these 4 hooks and same thing, there's a hole right here. We're just going to pop them in place. And I know I don't need to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You want the hooks facing up, same with these. So they're gonna face the same direction, all up towards the sky. So just pop in place like this. And then same deal, flip it over, take your 4 silver screws that are remaining, drop them in place, and start tightening. There's actually gonna be 1 extra screw, and I'll show you what that's for here in a second. So I misspoke when I said your remaining 4, you're gonna have 5. All right, so now these are all screwed into place. The last silver screw that you have is gonna be for this piece right here. So if you hold this up and look at the bottom right-hand corner, there's a slot right here. So you're gonna take this, there is a little bracket right here. You're gonna drop it in place, push, and there's the hole. So now you're gonna take this screw and tighten that piece down. All right, with this all secured, the next step is to get it mounted on the wall. So I'm going to readjust the camera and then we'll get that going. Guys, same as before, you're gonna take your screws along with the washers and you're gonna put them on the black bracket, and then you're going to tighten this back into place. So I'm just going to roughly start them. I'm gonna start with the bottom first, so I don't have to hold this. All right, so now that is taken care of, it's mounted. We will be able to now secure all the attachments in that corner, but there's one last thing I want to show you that we need to secure prior to mounting those attachments. The last piece that you need to mount with the 2 remaining screws, these will be the black ones, like so. You're gonna take this little piece right here. This is to hold the wand. So this is gonna go right here. So you're gonna take these 2 little pieces right here, these little bracket pieces right here, and they're going to slide up and in to that little channel. And once you confirm that they are both in, you're gonna take your screws and you're just gonna put them into the holes underneath. All right, that is nice and secure now. Now we can put the accessories on that other bracket that we just installed a few minutes ago, and then we'll put the last remaining air filter on the machine, and then we'll be ready to test it out. All right, I did not record myself putting these on here because it's pretty self-explanatory. If you need guidance, look at the instructions. The wider of the floor attachments goes on the bottom, the narrower one goes on top, and then you can look how I have them oriented. This allows them to not touch. And then to the right are the 2 poles for the vacuum itself. Now I mentioned right before I put these on here that there was one last filter you had to attach. That is this piece right here. This is like the pre-filter, I think, or the intake. So that goes right over here. So we're gonna drop it in place, and then it's gonna turn righty-tighty, and now it's locked in place. So I'm gonna just step back so you guys can see what the final product looks like. So you have on the left-hand side, all the attachments, nice and neat, mounted in a manner where you can access everything, but they're also out of the way of the vacuum. And then on the right-hand side, I told you I have a zero turn in my garage. You can now see it in a second. So yeah, my zero turn is right here. And I've rigged this thing in a way that it does not get affected by the zero turn. And then over there, you have the bracket for the wand. So if you wanted, you could take this wand off or pull it out, I guess, and attach it right here. I'm probably just gonna leave it hanging because I really don't care. So that is the install for the vacuum. Now let's test it out and see how it cleans, what the suction is like, and how emptying the tray is. All right, so it's been a few days since I actually mounted this and made the install video for you guys, which works out because my son, when I picked him up from daycare the other day, was really quiet in the back of the car. And it turns out he was dumping his Cheerios and like Rice Krispies, as well as his milk all over the back of my car. So let's vacuum it up. What I'm gonna use is this plastic piece because it's nice and wide and it'll get all the cereal. And then I'm just gonna use the wand. I'm not gonna use a pole because there's no need. So with this, you pull it as far as you need. And then when you're done, like when you decide you've had enough length, just let it retract back a hair and it'll stop in place. I'm going to attach this. I'm not going to vacuum up the milk that's on the floor because I can just wipe it up instead of getting it all in the vacuum and letting it crust up all nice. So let me move his toys. All right, so turn it on. So it is strong enough to get like big cereal and heavier items. Like it'll pick up my kid's tire. But it is strong enough to get the small particles as well. So if you have like dust from off-roading or like animal hair, this will do a good job of picking it up as well. I have a dog that rides in the back sometimes, and it does get pretty covered in hair, and this does do the job. And before I put it away, there is some leftover like wood scraps from when I drilled the mounts in. You can see they're kind of just sitting around. I'm just gonna vacuum them up real quick and show you guys that it can pick up, you know, in the garage. As far as emptying the machine goes, I'm gonna retract the hose. I'm gonna leave that hanging. Some people can put it back up there if they want. I'm just gonna leave it hanging. I'm gonna put the tools back in place, and then, like we covered earlier, in order to empty this out, you're gonna lift the lid clasps, let them fall, and then you're gonna slide it forward. and you can see all the debris collects in here, and then you can either just go empty it out in your bin or in a bag and then get moving again. So there you have it. That is the install, mount, and review of the Giraffe Tools vacuum cleaner. If you found this useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, this is a great option to use for cleaning your vehicle, your garage, or your workshop or space. And then keep in mind that right now Giraffe Tools is running a Father's Day sale where you can save 10%. And in addition, I do have a coupon for you guys. If you use the code JOE, J-O-E, that'll save you 10% off Giraffe Tools' website. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. See ya.